Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to announce the next senator from the great state of New York,
Thank you, New York. Thank you, Westchester County. Thank you, my friends, my family, everyone who stuck with this race. Don't forget, we're only in it for, what, 6 months, and we made it happen. And thank you, because you were there with me. This was a team effort. I know that I provided some of that energy, but hey, without your money, and the friendship, it wouldn't have happened. So, let me now make some points that are very important. What did we do tonight? We did something very important. We brought together the conservative and Republican lines. You realize what that means? Senator Gillibrand's worst nightmare has come out tonight. But you talk about transparency. Wait a minute. You want to be transparent? Tell the people the real debt. She keeps talking about the debt that Obama wants you to know, $13.6 trillion. That's a lie. That's the bonded debt. That's treasury bills, savings notes, treasury bonds. That's not the debt. You got to add to that $8 trillion for Social Security, $37 trillion for Medicare. This is what is off the books, not funded. It should be funded because they put trust funds. But they took the money out immediately and spent it on the general fund. And what did they put in those funds? IOUs. And we do pay interest when we pay it out. Right now we're accruing the interest. So the $13.6 trillion, let me give you some numbers. You want transparency? 40% of it is in the Social Security trust fund. Okay? That means there's no lockbox. There's no trust fund. That was all a lie. That was a paper entry. Money that was raised on FICA taxes for Social Security was immediately spent in the general fund. So you can see right off the bat, nobody wants to tell you that. I'm telling you it. It was in my book in 1992, and it's going to be in my new book that's coming out next week. Yeah! We're borrowing from countries like China that we don't trust, we don't share their values, and we're already there with Saudi Arabia for oil, where all the terrorists came out of, and we're giving up the American dream that my father came here for in 1929. I'm his oldest son, all right? You want to give up that dream? No. Now for the next generation? No. But that's what's happening if we don't start acting soon. You want to talk about transparency, Senator Gillibrand? Why did you vote to increase the debt ceiling twice? You've only been there less than 2 years, and you raised it twice, and the last time you did, you raised it $1.9 trillion. Imagine giving the Obama administration a free ride for the next year and a half. He already said we're going to be short $1.5 billion. Boy, T's and B's and stuff. $1.5 trillion. So that means that we said to him, okay, we know that you can't spend money you don't have, and we know the law says that for you to spend money you don't have, you got to raise the debt ceiling in order to float the treasury bills. So, all right, we'll raise the debt ceiling $1.9 trillion. That is not, there's no common sense in that. What would Joe DioGuardi have done? Joe DioGuardi would have said, you know what? And the senator can do this. You saw Mr. Bunny, how he stopped government because he wanted to do something. On a point of personal privilege, I would have said, all right, every month we're going to bring this up. And I'm going to bring the CBO director, Congressional Budget Office, the OMB director, the administration's guy in the budget, the Office of Management and Budget, on the floor of the Senate and say, what do you need this month? $100 billion? Okay. Tell the people what you're going to spend it on. Share their pain. Keep spending on a short leash. Don't you think that makes sense? Yeah. That's what I'm going to do when I go down there. start thinking in America. We've got to put the private sector, small businesses, back in the driver's seat. Why? They create the jobs. Yeah. The federal government doesn't create the jobs. It's small business. And yet we bailed out the banks, and the banks don't want to lend to small business. They're investing in treasury bills to make earnings per share. That's got to change. Someone's got to shake it up. I'm that guy to shake it up. Right? And so we know something about the American dream. We worked in that food market. We saw our parents on their feet sometimes 16 hours a day. They wouldn't close the store until the last movie theater went out, the Deluxe or the Loews, to sell as much as they could. That was the original convenience store. But we also saw them loving each other, hugging each other, affectionate with each other. And that's what America's all about. Families that work. Government cannot replace families. A government program. My father didn't come here for a government program. He came here for opportunity, a job, and now the Obama administration has a program for everybody. And they want to take it out of your pocket. No good. No good. There has to be a safety net, but we have to understand the American dream is more important, and we got to be sure that that dream continues. Right? My firm belief is that government was formed of the people, by the people, and for the people. Not to deceive the people, control the people, and bury them in apocalyptic levels of debt. And that's what's going on right now. So we got to go back to the common sense, conservative principles of the founding fathers. That's what made this country strong. We cannot have programs from Washington that bury the private sector, bury Wall Street, and then to make it look like they're doing something, oh, let's put people in houses, and don't worry if they don't have jobs, and don't even look at their documents. That's what we've been doing. We've been trying to make it look like we're successful, but we're not. And someone's got to now unbundle this, and I'm going to be part, I hope, of a new regime of senators and congressmen to tell the truth to the American people. Don't you think that's what we have to do? You can be sure that I will reverse the policies that have led us to this terrible recession. And you can be sure that I've got the energy, I've got the honesty, I've got the friends, and I've got the nerve to shake up Albany and Washington. Let's do it together.